Evening, happy Friday, and welcome to the SALCEDO show here on Newsmax TV. As many of you know, I, your liberty-loving Latino, am a man without a political party, as the GOP's Surrender Caucus seems to be leading the Republicans, leading them off a cliff, holding hands with socialist Democrats every step of the way. The socialists are pushing America over that same cliff with their anti-American, anti-freedom policies. As we stated, virtually every problem in the United States can be traced back to socialists and their policies. But we're sure that the moderate Republicans, well, who are in charge, are not the solution to those problems. In point of fact, milquetoast Republicans seem content to negotiate the speed of the fall of the United States, not prevent its happening. For me, opposing socialists is easy. I have core values. Tonight, the fawning press and their Democrat allies insist that the left-wing party is the party of women. Yet the first female vice president is silent on Governor Cuomo's 7 accusers who say the New York governor is a sexual predator. Tonight, Nancy Pelosi, along with a misogynist, loudmouth leftist Latino by the name of Congressman Jimmy Gomez from the People's Republic of California, seek to banish 2 women from Congress. One woman is Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie within moments. The other is Iowa Congresswoman Republican physician Mariannette Miller Meeks. Pelosi is working to get rid of her after 3 recounts after her race has been certified. You know what's funny? How conservatives who question the election after it's been certified get canceled, threatened, and silenced. But Democrats can challenge certified elections all they want with no pushback from a hopelessly biased press. The party of women? Right. Left-wingers in the press and the Congress also insist the Democrat socialists are the party of science. That, too, is demonstrably false. Fake science, it's the Democrats' religion. That's our focus in tonight's preamble. The SALCEDO show has been shouting from the rooftops on how the theory of man-made global warming is not science fact, but it's science theory. It's a convenient theory, too, driven by politics, not by science. No scientist has proven that X amount of man-made CO2 yields Y amount of temperature change or any climate change. We know the left wing doesn't really believe that CO2 is destroying the planet because no liberal extremist, not even the vapid AOC, is suggesting that America invade China to shut down their planet-killing, environmentally inferior power plants. China is the #1 CO2 emitter in the world. Yet no socialist in the Democrat Party would dare prevent them from generating CO2 that Democrats claim will destroy the planet in 9 years. Democrats only hate America's CO2. That's political, not scientific. So, too, are the Democrats' policies on the China virus. Joe Biden has a messaging problem. He and his anti-American leftists are saying, get the vaccine, but nothing's going to change. You still have to wear a mask. You still have to wear 2 masks. Our schools will remain closed, shut down, and our businesses must remain closed as well. At the same time, liberals are moaning about vaccine hesitancy. Senator Rand Paul called out one of the architects of these arbitrary policies, Anthony Fauci, in a Senate hearing.
Given that no scientific studies have shown significant numbers of reinfections of patients previously infected or previously vaccinated, what specific studies do you cite to argue that the public should be wearing masks well into 2022?
I'm not sure I understand the connection of what you're saying about masks and reinfection. We're talking about people who have never been infected before.
What study shows significant reinfection, hospitalization, and death after either natural infection or the vaccine? It doesn't exist. There is no evidence that there are significant reinfections after vaccine. In fact, I don't think we have a hospitalization in the United States after the 2-week period after the second vaccination.
If there is one, I haven't heard about it. Rand Paul cited study after study after study that showed once Americans have had the China virus or have been fully vaccinated, they have something we call immunity. So why is Fauci wearing 2 masks? The man's been vaccinated. Why is he calling for masks to be worn for another 2 years?
You're not hearing what I'm saying about variants. We're talking about wild type versus variants.
And what proof is there that there are significant reinfections with hospitalizations and death from the variants? None in our country. 0.
Well, because we don't have a prevalent of a variant yet. We're having one. Can I finish? We're having
You're talking about
117 that's
conjecture.
becoming
You're
more
making your
dominant.
policy based on conjecture.
No,
you
it-
have the
it isn't
conjecture that
based
we're
on
going to get
conjecture.
variants, so you want people to wear a mask for another couple years.
Many have observed that these variants that Dr. Fauci is speaking of are very conveniently timed for Democrat politicians who have used the virus to great effect to advance their anti-liberty agenda. Dr. Fauci produced no study that hinted that those who have received the vaccine are devoid of protection from the China virus variants floating around out there. Yet he's made proclamations about 2 more years of masks, using no science to back up his prescription. Now, he did cite one Johnson & Johnson study that said in Africa, people who caught the virus and recovered also caught the variant despite having antibodies. What Fauci didn't say was how many of those folks got extremely sick or died from those variant cases. He also neglected to point out that our vaccines, like the flu vaccine, don't carry 100% effectiveness. He failed to mention that a flu vaccine that is 60% effective is considered a great success. Why? Because the flu virus constantly mutates. It has variants emerging all the time. And those who get the flu vaccine are usually protected from infection, or at least protected from getting a severe case of the flu that would be life-threatening. Dr. Fauci cited no study that declared the current vaccines from Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, or AstraZeneca were completely ineffective against any one of these worldwide variant strains of the China virus. So how did he arrive at his conclusion that masks were needed for 2 more years? And why is he wearing 2 masks after being fully vaccinated?
You've been vaccinated and you parade around in 2 masks for show.
No.
You can't get it again. There's virtually 0% chance you're going to get it, and yet you're telling people that have had the vaccine, who have immunity. You're defying everything we know about immunity by telling people to wear a mask who've been vaccinated.
No.
Instead, you should be saying there is no science to say we're going to have a problem from the large number of people being vaccinated. You want to get rid of vaccine hesitancy? Tell them they can quit wearing their mask after they get the vaccine.
Okay.
You want people to get the vaccine? Give them a reward instead of telling them that the nanny state's going to be there for 3 more years and you got to wear a mask forever. People don't want to hear it. And there's no science behind it.
Well, let me just state for the record that masks are not theater. Masks are protective.
It's clear to me that Mr. Fauci is good for slogans, not for science. Many of you have suggested that we should know how much stock our officials have in PPE companies. I'm not the only one who is observing that for every hurdle we clear in the fight against the China virus, a socialist is waiting to tell us that we can't go back to normal. The question is why? Why are they doing this to us? Well, we were told to shut down to flatten the curve. We did that. But many states remain shut down. We were told that once the vaccines were out, we could get back to normal. But now we have to wear masks for at least 2 more years, according to Fauci. And now we're being told that we have to be afraid of the variants. Meanwhile, China's economy is not locked down. It's not concerned at all with the variants. China can finance its unprecedented military buildup. It can demand unfair trade deals. The country responsible for intentionally causing the pandemic seems to be unfazed. We do well to remember that Mr. Fauci has been a source of disinformation since the pandemic began. He has been wrong nearly at every turn. We must also remember that Fauci has been in government for decades and has been a devotee of the World Health Organization, a puppet for communist China. We must also remember that intelligence officials have told us that our government is compromised, to what degree we don't know, by China. Here's what I think is going on. The reason why Mr. Fauci, Biden, Cuomo, Newsom, and the rest of the socialists keep finding reasons to kill our economy, kill our will, and kill our ability to self-govern is that they're taking their marching orders from Beijing. The reason why we have to wear masks produced in China for 2 more years is because Xi Jinping insists and the Socialist Democrats obey. The reason why our economy must remain in the toilet, China insists, and the Democrat Socialists obey. Now, I'm in favor of opposing the compromised party, the Democrat Socialists. Somebody let me know when I can join a political party that reflects my views. Somebody let me know when a party is founded that rejects the Democrats' religion of fake science.